everybody, having fun here on Name Check with a terrific guest today. I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post. This is Name Check, and I am delighted and charmed to be here with Tichina Arnold.
Hello, darling.
Darling,
How are you?
I must say, you look absolutely fabulous.
Thank you. I'm trying to hold it together.
I love the ring there.
Thank you.
Where did you get that?
I'm not a dainty person. Actually, this is
Bold choice. I love it.
a celebrity's line. I forgot her name.
She must be really famous.
Yeah, she's really Nicole
Richie.
Nicole Richie.
I know, between the
This is
two
her
of us,
line.
there's not a celebrity whose name we can't cut up with.
Look, I forget my own name, so don't worry about it.
Tichina is the wonderful star of the TV land sitcom Happily Divorced. She also has appeared in Broadway and off-Broadway plays, including one of my favorites of all time, Little Shop of Horrors.
Aww.
Now, before we get to Happily Divorced, we got to talk about Little Shop of Horrors. One of the great musicals by the wonderful Alan Menken, who went on to write all of those great shows for Disney, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Howard Ashman, the lyricist, who died sadly right at the height of the AIDS crisis, just after he finished Beauty and the Beast.
He sure did.
Now, you did it when it was off Broadway, right? When
yes,
you did,
I did.
Little Shop of Horrors?
Actually, did the movie first.
You did the
and
movie
then
first,
I did
right,
off Broadway after I did the film. And by the time I did the Orpheum Theater, I was just having a blast. It was really, it was
down
fun.
on 2nd Avenue, right? The
Yes,
Orpheum
sir.
Theater.
Yeah, because well, as a child, I worked a lot at the public theater. Yes, I did. I worked with Elizabeth Swados a lot.
Oh wow, working and all Runaways.
Well, I didn't do Runaways. I was too young for Runaways. Runaways was a little before my time, which I'm happy to say. But I did the Haggadah. The Haggadah, about the Jewish Passover. Oh, beautiful music. Oh, the music was awesome.
So I didn't realize that you had a real extensive career in the theater as a kid.
I started off in theater first.
Oh,
my first my first show was The Me Nobody Knows.
Oh, right, of course.
At the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn, and that was my first role.
How old were you?
Oh, God, I was 11.
Really?
I was 11.
So you just had this natural talent, singing?
I got on my mother's nerves.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, I was just a very high-strung child. I was born and raised in, the church, very deep-rooted Christian,
And you're from Queens?
I'm from Jamaica, Queens, South Ozone Park. Ho, South Ozone, everybody out there. And, I started singing in church at the age of 3. So singing eventually took me into the theater, and I did a bunch of musical theater. My aunt, my uncle Ronnie, who was just an amazing man. He actually passed of HIV as well, but he was the one who really got me into the industry, and he
loved musicals. He loved Broadway.
Jazz. I mean, he just knew it all, and he actually was the one that really pushed for me to do the film Little Shop of Horrors. But after we did the film, Madonna saw the film before it came out, and she wanted to hire me and Michelle and Tisha, who were the other two.
That's right. You were the sort of the Greek chorus.
Exactly. Okay, you really know your Broadway, honey.
You know I do, darling.
Do it.
I'm your Uncle Ronnie.
So and he said no. He was like, no, absolutely not. You can't do it.
Your uncle said that. You can't. Why?
Sing for Madonna. We were too young. I was 15 when I did it. And I think she probably thought we were older as well, but I was 15, turning 16.
And he didn't want you to sing for Madonna because it was too racy?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm happy that he did it. At the time, I was very mad. I was like, I want to sing for Madonna. I mean, I'm an 80s chick, so for Madonna to call and be like, hey, I want you. So he made me say no, but I'm happy he did, because it was a great segue for me to do more musical theater, and then I did 4 years of soap operas. Did Ryan's Hope, All My Children, and actually just ran into Kelly Ripa, and Kelly Ripa was like, oh my God, I remember you. We were so cool. So,
But take me back to this Uncle Ronnie. He seems to have really been a very important person in your life.
Very classy man.
He really took charge of your career.
He didn't take charge. What he did was he told my mother everything to do. My Uncle Ronnie was actually an amazing man who, in that time, he didn't come out that he was gay. So our family didn't know that he was. We knew, but we didn't know.
I know, one of those things where nobody says anything, but you just accept it without.
Exactly. But he was just so creative, and he was into jazz. He was an avid book reader, and he just saw that I had a lot of talent, I guess, and he just told my mom, you have to allow her to channel her energies. And you know, he helped. I bought the Backstage paper. Do they still sell the Backstage?
Backstage is still around. Now everything's on the internet, but of course everyone checked the auditions in Backstage.
Yeah, remember, you go through the back and see what's happening. So you know, he was I really credit him for really, you know, making me go into show business the right way and not just taking.
Well, he had taste.
Lots of taste, very good taste, I might add.
May I ask you though? You said he died of AIDS. That must have been devastating for you and the family. When did you find out that he was sick, and how did
he never told us he was sick? He was a very private man, and during the time, you know, he and my mom were very close. My grandmother and my great-grandmother were having children at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
So my Uncle Ronnie is actually my mother's great uncle, but he raised her like his child. You know, they were close in age, but so my mom was very, very close to him. If she watches this, she's probably going to cry. But he was an amazing
stability
guy.
In that family.
And he was kind of, you know, kind of the black sheep of the family, because he kind of, you know, because of his lifestyle, he you know, moved away, and he moved here to New York and kind of, you know,
kept things quiet and private.
Very quiet. And
but he didn't tell you that he was ill?
No, not until I visited him in the hospital, and he kind of explained it to us then, but didn't go really into detail. But he was one of those people that I think Dr. Kevorkian's book was out during the time, and he took his life.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and very neatly, like just. It was my first, you know, experience of really seeing the AIDS epidemic, you know, so prevalent among so many. Because I was in theater a lot, you know, you hear about it, you'll see somebody and work with them in the show, and then next year you don't see them anymore. You're like, oh, what happened?
Well, back in those days, though, I remember now too. People would be sick. They'd call in sick for a show, and they'd have pneumonia, and they'd be gone. And
pneumonia was taking them out.
Just like that.
It was just during a time where, you know, you didn't talk about it too much. You just kind of.
But it sounds like your uncle lived his life though on his own terms.
Oh, definitely. He did it. He wanted to do it. I hate that he did it, because, you know, he didn't give it, you know, he didn't give technology time to.
But the cocktail to kick in. But I mean, with the success you've had, you must think about him often though, every time you're performing.
All the time. I always give credence to Uncle Ronnie, because he was just, we lost a good one. Very good man.
Tell me about Happily Divorced.
Happily Divorced is a great show. It's on one of my favorite networks. I love TV Land. Because TV Land has brought back sitcoms.
Yes.
I know everybody's into the whole reality TV thing, but
come on, not as good as the Cosby Show, all those, Alice, all those
Jeffersons.
Great, wonderful. I think your theater background though helps you when you're doing sitcoms, because you do it in front of a live audience. It's like doing a little one-act play.
That's what we call it. We call it, oh, we're going to do our little play now.
Exactly. And I think that the best sitcoms, at least some of the ones I've seen taped, the people generally, you know, I know you got to stop and start and do this here, but you really want to get that momentum going and do it straight through, so the laughs build.
Comedy can't be stopped. Once comedy starts, you know, sometimes they change the words and the lines, you know, if a joke doesn't work right, you tweak it. But that's why I always loved television. A lot of my friends who were, you know, the film stars, they would tease me and like, oh, Tichina, you're in television. Okay, we'll see you in a couple of months. We're going to Brazil to film. I'm like, oh, whatever. Television is good money, and it is. You know, and especially now that I'm a mom and I'm married, you know, you get your schedule is a lot.
And you get a lot of time off when the show stops. You get a big chunk of time there in the summer where you're going to have a nice time. So.
Exactly. But I love television. And now all my film celebrity friends are back on TV. How about that? So I'm like, in your face.
The girl lives in L.A., but there's still a tough Queens girl there, right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Tichina, it's been lovely chatting with you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
On Name Check, I'm Michael Riedel, and my guest was Tichina Arnold. Can you sing us out with a little something from Little Shop of Horrors? You know, I love that. Little downtown.
Downtown, where the folks are broke. You go downtown, where your life's a joke. Downtown, where the are no go. Here on Skid Row.
Here on Skid Row, that was it.
Hey, you know what? When you get old, you forget the words. Sorry.
I'm telling you, this girl has got to get back on Broadway. It's got to be on Broadway.
You know, and that's the only thing that I've never done.
You've got to be on Broadway.
I've been off Broadway. I have to do Broadway before I die.
I'll put in a good word for you.
And if I get real old, I'll make sure you don't give me a bad write-up. You better give me a good write-up.
Only good write-ups from me to you,
because you know I know where to find you.
Tichina Arnold, you're a charmer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat.
We'll see you next time on Name Check.
You got